Hi guys, today I'm talking a little bit about anxiety. Now, anxiety is at epidemic proportions. I mean, you literally hear about it everywhere. That being said, it's difficult sometimes to differentiate between what is an acceptable level of anxiety and what is actually problematic. And as somebody who has struggled with anxiety numerous times throughout my life, I understand only too well why sometimes it can be difficult to make that differentiation because a lot of people who struggle with anxiety are extremely functioners. They're high performers. So that despite the fact that they may be struggling so much internally, they still continue on with their day. They maintain their relationships, despite all of the internal turmoil going on. And because they continue to function, because they continue to do well at life and maintain, as I said, an acceptable level of living, they don't recognize themselves as needing help. They know that something isn't right or that something is amiss, but they don't feel that they qualify for the help that is out there. So, how do you recognize the difference between problematic anxiety and regular day to day anxiety? Well, I suppose it's about examining the impact that it has on your day to day life, the impact it has on your ability to focus, your ability to do well in your relationship, your ability to show up to your life, and your ability to experience contentment and peace of mind. And that can be fairly hard to assess because, as I said, a certain amount of anxiety is inevitable and it's actually necessary in order to keep us motivated, to keep us on our toes. It makes us work that little bit harder. And if anything, anxiety, if you are at peace with it, if you're able to sit with it, if you're able to recognize its role and have a healthy relationship with it, it can actually be the ultimate performance enhancer. But I'll talk about that in another video. So the first thing I think you need to take a look at is the root cause of your anxiety. So just say, for example, you have a driving test, or you have a presentation coming up at work, or you have a job interview, or some big event that is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. Well, that is normal because you can specifically link it to that event and you can say, okay, that's why I am experiencing this. However, if your anxiety has no specific cause, if you cannot identify exactly what it is that you're anxious about, then that's an indication that there may be something underlying going on. You also need to take a look at the intensity and the duration. So if you experience a peak just before you do something that would cause anybody anxiety, such as a meeting with your boss, then that's okay. That's a normal level of anxiety. However, if you are experiencing anxiety and stress throughout your day for no specific reason that is coming between your ability to function at a normal level, that is debilitating and is holding you back or making you feel highly distressed, then that's problematic. And again, it's looking at the intensity as well. I mean, if you are experiencing what feels a little bit uncomfortable, but then ebbs away again, in comparison to feeling this continuous feeling of both psychological and physiological symptoms, where you're sweating, where you feel you cannot sit with yourself, whereas this uncomfortable feeling of bile rising up inside you, where you're constantly feeling wary and panicky and fluttery. That is problematic and it's not something that you can live with on an ongoing basis, so it needs to be addressed. Now, for regular anxiety, acceptable levels of anxiety, there's lots of skills that you can incorporate into your life that will help you. First of all, getting adequate sleep and nutrition is so important. Also, being able to practice things like grounding, which is a type of mindfulness, incorporating meditation into your day, and also learning deep breathing skills can be highly beneficial when it comes to dealing with your day-to-day stress. It's important as well not to over-identify with your stress and your anxiety. I mean, we tell ourselves stories about how stressful and busy our days are, and sometimes we need to take a step back and be a little bit more objective as to how much stress we are actually experiencing. However, if your anxiety is prolonged and you can't seem to put a finger as to what the root cause is. You may be struggling with some past emotional experience that you will need assistance to work through. And this is particularly true if you find yourself triggered by certain current day events that aren't reflective of the response that you are experiencing. And the way in which you do this with the right person is you identify what it is that you didn't deal with in the past, whatever that experience is that you repressed and that is bubbling up inside you every time you come across similar circumstances. And with the help of a therapist, you work through the emotions, you process them, you heal the wound. You then look at developing skills like cognitive reappraisal, which is the ability to assess your thoughts and challenge any negative thoughts and beliefs. And then you look at emotional regulation, which is learning better ways to deal with strong emotional responses and to process them in a very normal, healthy manner. You can then go about living your life with a lot more peace of mind and contentment, knowing that a certain amount of anxiety is normal, but just not letting it consume you, not letting it dictate the way you live your life or impact on your ability to be healthy in your relationships and in your day-to-day life. If you'd like to work with me on anything that is causing you major anxiety, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie. You'll also catch me on my Instagram and on Facebook. Both of those pages are called Fundamentals. I do a regular podcast with Neil O'Brien. It's called Touchy and Feely. It's available on iTunes and on Spotify, so go check it out. Like, share and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I also post all my videos covering lots of mental health issues on my YouTube page, which is Fiona Feely. Go check it out. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about, and I'd be more than happy to do so. Hope everyone has a great day.